What would you do if you had a noisy neighbor? Usually you complain. Well, there's a family in Arlington, Virginia. They have until January 31st to find a new home because their developmentally disabled son is too loud. They live above the property manager, and he said to them, you're going to have to get out of here because your kid is making too much noise. And they were offered another apartment at a higher price, fewer rooms at a higher price. They can't afford that at all. Do they have a right, this place, to evict this family?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, they do. I mean, when you live in an apartment complex, there's a noise ordinance that you have to abide by, and it's everything playing radio too loud or, you know, you're
But apparently, the family says when they moved in, they made it very clear to them that their child had particular issues, and one of those was being loud.
Yeah, so they disclosed. They
did disclose, but I think legally they do have the right to evict them. I just hope they all come together and have a heart and try to find a new place for this family that doesn't cost them any more than they're paying.
I don't see how that's fair. I think helping them find another place, maybe it's in a quieter or a more isolated part of the apartment building, but you said they're trying to charge them more.
Yeah, it's an apartment with fewer rooms and it's more expensive.
I think this family deserves a discount and a break. They're raising a special needs child. It's a special situation. They need to cut them a break.
But Lance, what you're saying is, I can turn down music. I can not have a party.
Or
a dog. I mean, you could do, there's actionable steps you can take that. With someone who's mentally disabled, you know, and needs special needs and help, you can't do anything about it. And you need empathy. How about empathy?
And empathy, yeah, it's true.
I don't mean you're saying that they should do this,
and then, you know, special needs kids, they have special needs, and one of those is living situations also. So I'm just saying that this guy does have the right to evict this family, unfortunately, but I'm just hoping they'd all come together and figure out something
it could lead to really educating people. Years ago, I think it was the Regal theater chain, there was some father and child in watching a movie, and the child had developmental issues, and she, or I think it was a girl, started screaming, you know, making noise. And the patrons there, who had paid money for the movie, got really, really upset. And the manager told them to get out. And the father went to him and said, I'm really sorry. My daughter has a disability and she can't help herself. And to the theater's credit, they started an educational campaign. And they filmed lots of people. I was one of them involved in it, talking about being sensitive to people who have issues. And I give the theater a lot of credit for that. Absolutely. That you need to, it doesn't mean you don't deal with it, but understand that it might not be an unruly child. It might be something else going on.
You know, people don't have contact with children that are special needs or adults that are special needs, and I think if you could create that contact, you grow that empathy in somebody that's maybe not dealing with it in their life. So I think this is a great opportunity to do that.
Let me ask you, Megan, if either one of your girls was acting up and doing something, you know, like you do.
I'm very unruly, as you all can tell.
Would you like someone to tell you? I'm asking you because there was a woman who wrote about this recently. Her daughter, they were throwing a party and there were a lot of kids, and she didn't realize her daughter had been rude to another child, her friend's child. And the friend actually wrote her an email later and said, I think you should know this in a nice way. And she was grateful. She said, I'm really glad because I want to make sure my child does the right thing.
I agree. If my kid is being hurtful to another child, if being disruptive to another child, or being disrespectful to an adult, I want to know.
Yeah.
Having said that, if my kid is running around acting like a 4-year-old and someone complains to me, I will turn to them and say, this is a kid being a kid.
Right.
So you got to back off a little bit. But my kid should not be disrespectful or hurt. Hurting's a big thing.
Keep saying when a 4-year-old being a 4-year-old, I'm a 30-year-old being a 30-year-old then. I mean, because the reality is these kids. I don't have any kids. I already know that.
The problem.
No, that's not the problem.
Until you have a child, then you can say,
no, but the reality is sometimes people just let their kids run up and down.
But I'm talking about a party. I'm talking about a party, like a kid's party.
You still need to have some level of decorum. Now, I do think you should tell someone in a proper way. But the reality is what I do is when I see a kid running around and doing all kinds of, I go, where's your parents so I can talk to them? And I have the conversation right then and there, and I don't deal with the child.
But it's tone, because if you came up to me and said that in a tone like that was aggressive or anything like that, it's all about...
might be aggressive because your kid might have gotten on my last nerve, and now it's time to get aggressive.
You love them.
No, but
I don't like it when your kid does something, and we were talking about this earlier, and instead of them telling you, the adults saying, they tell some other adult. They say, that kid's a brat. I hate that.
Adults gossiping about a child. Is there anything more childish than an adult gossiping about a child? It's the worst behavior.
So we got a lot of shakes in there. Everyone in the audience, your parents, yes.
I want them to be honest with me. I want to know what they think of my kids, because one, I'll find out if my kid is an ass, or I'm going to find out that you're an ass.